Hello, guys. I wanted to talk about something that has been on my mind for the past couple of days. I usually talk about my autism and some of the things that I've been dealing with. I wanted to talk about a subject that's really close to my heart, and that's autism and bullying. Now, I want to talk about a little bit about my life and a little things that I've gone through the whole bullying experience. I've been bullied a lot throughout my life, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But people with autism do intend to get bullied much more than an average person or neurotypical who does not have autism or anything of that nature. But people who do have disabilities and people who are on the autism spectrum do tend to get bullied a lot more than an average person. So I wanted to talk about a little bit about my life and then some of the things that I've been able to help and cope through bullying. And I hope this actually helps people who do have autism who do get bullied on a daily basis or who get bullied in general. The outcasts that are out there, the outliers that are out there, like myself. So I've been bullied quite a lot through school, and so I thought about going through a little bit about my life and talking about some of the experiences. So I've been bullied a lot. I have autism. I have Asperger's syndrome, as you guys should know because I've talked about it in some of my various videos. I've mentioned it. I made a pretty long video on it, so you can go check that out. It's pretty cool. It was one of my first live videos, and I decided to talk about some of my experience on the autism, being on the autism spectrum. But when I was in elementary school, I was bullied a lot. I was bullied quite a bit. I wasn't bullied as much when I went to high school, but I was bullied quite a lot in elementary school. There were people who didn't like me. There were people who found me annoying. There were people who found me just weird. And I guess you can say I'm a little bit weird. I like weird things. I do weird things. But people didn't like me because of just who I was as a person. They didn't like me because um, I loved paleontology. I loved dinosaurs. I could not shut up about dinosaurs, and so people would judge me a lot throughout school. And people would make assumptions of me without actually knowing who I am as a person. Because if you actually get to know a person, you won't necessarily make assumptions of them that aren't actually true. So people used to make a lot of assumptions about me. When I was in middle school, I was bullied tremendously. It was probably one of the worst years of my life because I was bullied so much through middle school. In sixth grade, I was switching classes sometimes because there were bullies that would just pick on me all the time, who would call me mean and horrible names. Some that I can't even tell you on camera right now, so they're a little bit explicit, but I won't get into it really. But I used to be called horrible names. My name in school used to be Dinosaur Boy because I love dinosaurs. I was known for liking dinosaurs. I love them still, but I had the name Dinosaur Boy throughout elementary school and middle school. It died off when I went to high school, which was good. I was known as Dinosaur Boy. Was picked on. Nobody really wanted to hang out with me because I really liked dinosaurs, and I would talk about dinosaurs all the time. And actually, when I was growing up in school, that was not a particular subject that people would pick of interest. Dinosaurs and paleontology. That was that kid who really liked dinosaurs, and I decided I wanted to become a paleontologist, and that's what I'm on the track of being now, is a historical geologist and paleontologist. But got a lot worse when I was in middle school. I was thrown into a trash can when I was in middle school in the sixth grade. I was picked up and put in a trash can, kicked over inside the trash can, and it was devastating. It really was one of those moments where it's just I really didn't have much else to say, and I was defenseless. I was a small, probably 15-year-old kid in sixth grade, and I didn't know much about anything about the world, and I was just going about my day. And you had people who made my life miserable because of it, because I was just different from a lot of other people. I didn't like the same things people did. I dressed differently. I talked differently. I acted differently. Kids didn't like that back in the day. But I had a few people who stood up for me. I had a few teachers who stood up for me. But I was a loner. I didn't have much friends when I was growing up. And I stuck to paleontology because paleontology and geology and the rocks and minerals and fossils I collected, they wouldn't make fun of me. They wouldn't call me names. So I stuck to that. I stuck to buying all kinds of books, geology, paleontology books while I was in middle school and elementary school and middle school because those are the only things that could really help me cope with some of the things that I was going through. I already had a low self-esteem back then, and so people bullying me really didn't make it a lot better. It made my life literally a living hell. I couldn't go I couldn't go any class time without being picked on or being bullied. And many of those kids didn't even know I was on the autism spectrum. There were some people who probably proposed I was on the autism spectrum, but no one really knew what autism was. I guess they knew what autism was, but they didn't know I was on the spectrum. And they just bullied me. It was just careless bullying, you know. And I really did not like. I'm pretty sure anybody who gets bullied doesn't like being bullied. But these kids, they didn't really know any better. These were kids who were jealous about themselves. Excuse me, they were jealous of me, and they didn't like anything about themselves. So they decided to bully me because I was passionate about something. I was passionate. I had things going for me. It wasn't until I moved that I actually had some experiences with paleontology and had, you know, a few chances to actually do and share my passion. But when I was being in middle school, it was terrible. You know, I switched classes because I was pulled in and out of class because I was being bullied. I was bullied outside of school as well. There were a few people who bullied me just because I didn't have the social interactions. Autism is about social interacting with people, and people with autism are very poor social interactors. We don't do the same things that neurotypical kids do. You know, we have weird behavior, and that's exactly what I was doing. My social interactions have gotten actually a lot better when I was growing older and when I'm older now. So my social interactions were very, very poor when I was younger. The only thing I would really cope with is I would, you know, close my ears and I would, you know, just scream, "Be quiet, leave me alone." I didn't have the social light. I was out of the social light. There was really nothing I could do besides scream and yell. And I guess it worked for me because these kids would leave me alone after I did that. But I was loud. I told these kids to leave me alone. I was very loud, and they did. And that's really the only way I was able to tell these people to leave me be. I went to teachers. I went to the principal. Few, I guess you could say a few hundred times. I've been to the principal, did nothing. Brought kids who were bullying me into the principal's office. Afterwards, still bullied me. Really didn't do much of anything. So I had to basically defend myself a lot of the times. But and sometimes actually, when I was after school, I would just sit in the corner and cry all the time because I did not know what to do. I couldn't cope with being bullied. It was really it was really a very, very, very rough spot in my life. And I don't usually talk about it much. And I'm glad I get to share my life and get to share my experiences with you guys. You know, bullying is just terrible, you know. It doesn't matter what kind of bullying, cyberbullying or actual bullying. I was cyberbullied and I was, you know, actually bullied in school. It was terrible. It was it was one of the worst experiences that I went through in my life and when I was younger. You know, I don't get bullied that much now. I'm out of school, I graduated high school, and I'm on my way for college, but you know, you're still gonna have people who look down on you, who think you're inferior, and you're not. Just if you are being bullied in school, go to an adult. Don't get yourself into any fights or anything that matter. Go to adult. You know that you are awesome. Just to let you know that you're awesome. Don't let anybody tell you what you can, and don't let anybody define who you are as a person. You are you, and you have that integrity to stand up for yourself. Know that these people are assholes. You know that these people they're not going to do well if they keep bullying you in life. You know, these people are probably going to regret what they've done to you because you're going to turn out to be a very successful person in life. You're going to turn out to be a great person in life. So, any of you, if you guys are being bullied in school, if you guys are the outlier, embrace yourself. Embrace yourself that you're different from a lot of other people. You know, we don't like being the same. If we were all the same, this world would be completely boring. Know that if you're an outlier in school and you like different things and you don't follow the same trends and so follow the same path as everyone else, embrace that. You know, embrace it as like, oh, I'm different. I'm glad of being different. I don't crap on myself for being different. There are a lot of people who judge me for being different and being who I am. You know, don't let anybody define who you are. You are you, and you have the right to stand up for yourself. So if anybody is being bullied in school, know that you are awesome. Know that you can overcome these people. Know that you can overcome anything if you set your mind to it. Overcome these obstacles. You know, these people are in school that who are bullying you. They're not going to last long. So I just hope that you, as a person, can stand up for yourself and know that these people, they're gonna be gone in a few years anyway. You're not gonna see them. We're all gonna move on into our lives, and we all grow up. So I really wanted to share my message with you and you guys who do end up, who experience bullying in school. Know that you are good. Know that you are awesome. So this is Paleo 101, and I'll see you later.